Yeah, you're welcome back to the channel, and I hope you're enjoying our content. Today, we are going to continue our discuss on nutrition in bacteria. And today, we are going to be talking about heterotrophic bacteria. We have a video that talks about autotrophic bacteria. You can go and look at them and look at the examples and understand a bit about autotrophs, bacteria that are autotrophs. But today, we are going to look at bacteria that are heterotrophs, which means that these bacteria are not able to produce any of the materials that they need to consume. They only consume ready-made carbohydrates and other materials, proteins and other materials that other organisms have produced. Now, they are in three major groups. We have one, the saprophytes, we have the symbiotic bacteria, and the parasitic bacteria. Saprophytes, symbiotic bacteria, and parasitic bacteria. Now, these are majorly biological terms which we can easily understand. Now, the saprophytes are the bacteria that feed on dead and decaying matter. And how are they able to do this? They have soluble enzymes, hydrolytic enzymes, with which they are able to dissolve materials from the living organisms, and then they take it into their own system and they make use of it. All these bacteria that we can see on dead and decaying materials, dead bodies of carcasses, any bacteria that is going to grow on anything like that that is dead and decaying organic matter is a saprophytic bacteria. And we have different examples. We have examples such as our Zygomonas, our Acetobacter, and Bacillus subtilis. These are just a few examples of bacteria that are saprophytic in nature. So they feed on dead and decaying materials. Secondly, we have bacteria that are symbiotic in nature, meaning that they exist in a symbiotic relationship with other organisms, through which they perform one or two functions for those other organisms, and then they are able to use up from the nutrients that those other organisms make. And examples are bacteria such as rhizobium that occurs in the roots of leguminous plants. While they are in those roots, they are able to help those plants by helping them to, in the nitrification process, they are able to help them fix nitrogen. And when they fix nitrogen, they make this nitrogen available for the plants in the form of nitrites. And then these plants also, when they make their carbohydrates and other nutrients, these bacteria also use up from the nutrients that are made by these plants. So that way, they exist in a symbiotic relationship that favors both partners. Now, the last one is a parasitic relationship, and there are a lot of parasitic bacteria. These are bacteria that live on living organisms. They live off living organisms, and they're able to use up the nutrients of these living organisms. A lot of pathogenic bacteria that are able to cause disease in humans and all sorts of animals and even plants live off those organisms and are able to cause different kinds of diseases while they use up the nutrients of these organisms. So examples like our Salmonella, examples like our tuberculosis, our Mycobacterium tuberculosis, examples of our Streptococcus are all examples of parasitic bacteria that live off, using up nutrients that are present within living organisms. Thank you for listening to this lecture, and I hope you understood what we said. Have a wonderful day.